And good morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace. We hope your Friday. Can you believe it's Friday already?
I know, and I'm so glad it's Friday.
So-
This week kind of flew by.
Do y'all still go camping? Do y'all do all that all the time?
We have not camped in a little while because it's been so hot. The last time we went, it was miserable hot, and we didn't take the boat. So because he said it's too hot to fish. I mean, you get out there and just burn up in the middle of the reservoir trying to fish. Yeah. So just to sit out there and smother as hot as.
Back at your house, it's
you can't put a fire in the fire.
That's true.
Who won't sit out and bake by the fire when it's 100 degrees?
And a camper is more or less a big tin box, a baking box, isn't it, in the sun?
Yeah, I will say though, you can walk up in our camper and it is just freezing cold. So I mean, but nobody wants to stay in the camper during the day.
It ain't big as your house.
Yeah, but I do love to camp. It's just
that puzzles me, and I have to bring this up. You bound to have seen that TV show. Tiny house thing to where they'll build something that's smaller than a camper to live in. Who would really want to do that, honestly?
I don't know. I guess people because I've seen people take them from take them like a camper and put them different places, just pull them to different places. But those things are really neat. They have 2 stories to them.
But still, you could go buy an already made one bigger and cheaper than what they're doing.
Yeah, you could.
Just thoughts.
But they are neat. They're neat. But I do love the camp, which is so. My husband thinks that I'm just so picky about stuff.
I ain't gonna tell you what he really said.
Well, he probably did talk bad about me when it comes to the camping thing, because I just don't. I don't like bugs. Okay.
Oh, now we find out.
And I can't believe that I even go hunting because I don't like bugs. Because I don't like ticks.
Well, during the winter you don't have those. That's why you.
Yeah, I know, but still, we went the last time we went camping when we went to anchor the camper down.
Yeah.
The anchors were right in this humongous ant bed, and I was like, we ain't staying at this one. We had already paid for the spot. I was like, we can't stay here.
I know.
He's like, what do you want? What do you think we're gonna do? It's almost dark, and I was like, I'm just gonna go up to the office and ask them, can we move to another one? So I told him, I said, look, my husband is aggravated with me. We are gonna have to move. So anyway, it worked out. We got another spot. But
here it comes.
It was too hot. It was just not a good last camping time because it was hot and I was just ill.
There's 100 people right now thinking, thank God her husband has to put up with her. Just saying.
No, I'm not bad to put up with.
Oh, sure.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm with you.
No, really, I'm not.
On a serious note, we want everybody still to keep everybody west of here, Louisiana, Texas, in their prayers. Still has not been uncovered of the true damage. They can't get to a lot of places. It's going to be power outages for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So keep those in your. We'll know more by Monday morning of really what the damage is. The last I'd heard was 6 deaths, and that's
really
going to climb.
Yeah, I had heard 1 earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't heard anything else.
So that's where we are on that. Coming up in just a moment, we'll take a quick look at your forecast, get you updated what's going to go over the weekend, where's this hurricane headed to next. We'll give you all of that coming up with Scotty, Ray, and Candace.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
The Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151 off the interstate, invites you by. Why? They're going to save you money this weekend. It's a tax-free weekend on guns across the state, but the Lauderdale County Farm Supply is extending that to everything in the store. Anything that you come in and buy this weekend, no tax on it whatsoever. Drop in and see them today. Ron will walk you through it. Any of the friendly staff there. Steve, bunch of folks there help you out. Lauderdale County Farm Supply, absolutely no tax this weekend. As you see baby chicks, who wouldn't need a baby chick with no tax? Along with all the boots and things to keep your feet dry during the winter months. Today especially, boy, it's going to be a wet weekend. You can use these, ladies, men's, all that. Everything qualifies, from your deer attractants, the Power Station Rack 1 there to get those deer coming in to get some good pictures. Deer cameras, that's included in this. Did I mention absolutely everything in the store? tax-free this weekend. Of course, your feed seed, all of that wheat, if you're needing some ryegrass, all of that qualifies in this. Fish Day is coming up next month on the 18th of September. Also, with this, your horse, cattle feed, any corn that you may be needing. If you're needing to buy some extra corn there for the deer, got that as well. All guns, this is included in it, tax-free this weekend. Drop in and see them there. Can't miss out on that. Scopes, whole 9 yards. Everything in the store again is absolutely tax-free this weekend at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151 off that interstate. Good morning. I do hope your day is going well as we start rolling around and getting things going. The big question is, what's going on with the weather? What's going to happen? Laura, where is she? What's she doing? What else is going on? We do have 2 more that are brewing we'll tell you about in just a moment. Okay, let's jump in and take a look at our forecast here on the local level of what to expect today of possible storms. From Meridian all the way up to taking in all of Noxubee, Macon, over in Winston County, Philadelphia, these areas, we've got a 1. So that means we'll probably get some thunderstorms this afternoon. Possibly some severe thunderstorms warnings. That usually does happen with these. A little bit worse to the north of us there around Columbus. As we move into heat stress for tomorrow, it looks like it's going to be just out of our area. We're going to have about 101, 102. This line right here makes it 105, and then that gets a little bit higher there. That's going to get into the 106 area there in North Mississippi. So warm stuff. As I mentioned, what else is going on? Aha, look at this. We've got 2 more that are developing out there. This one, they're giving it a 20% chance of making it. This one a 30%. What they're calling it, this one would be called, I say it Nana, and the second one would be Omar, right here. So we'll watch these over the next few days and see what happens with these 2 storms. We definitely don't need any more, but it looks like we do have 2 that are developing. As we switch down, let's go to radar and take a look at what we've got going on here. We'll start here and take a look at what's going on with our good friend Laura, who is dumping a bunch of rain near Memphis this morning. If you look at this from Texarkana, Little Rock, Arkansas, right out to the east, Memphis, Jonesboro, Arkansas, getting a lot of rain. It's still got that twist. All right, let's turn on our track and see what she's doing here. As she is sitting right outside Little Rock there, expected to get just north of Jonesboro and take that hook, and it's going to go right over Paducah. Now, if you'll notice, it's changed the path where it did have Nashville in it in Murfreesboro. That's out of it now. You are going to get rain in Nashville and Murfreesboro this morning, but not the extent of what was coming. This will go on up to Evansville, Hendersonville. Spent a lot of time there in Henderson and Evansville. Good folks there. Louisville, spent there a night or 2 as well. It'll come on across Charleston, West Virginia, and come on back out through Delaware and back out into the to the waters again. So that's what's going on with that. Again, we'll watch these storms that are developing back down here off the coast of Africa and coming. All right, let's move back and take a look at what we've got going on. Rain with us this morning. That's pretty important. A lot of rain out here. As we zoom in here to Lauderdale County, we're showing some light showers there around Electric Mills there in Kemper County. As we move down here, we've got Lauderdale sitting about right here. Rain. Let's zoom in on this and show some locations. This is going to be out, Delwood, just east of you toward Cuba, Alabama, in that area there. As we move down, we've got heavier showers out by Wyandotte as we move into Clark County this morning, all around Enterprise and these areas around the Dollar General. As you move into Long's Fish Camp area, the Piggly Wiggly there in Stonewall showers, and back over on Highway 45, you've got a little bit there at Mathis and around Clarkdale, and also some moderate rain right now downtown from Jay's Taxidermy and Equipment all the way up past the co-op, just about up to where Clarko State Park is. That's an overview of what we've got going on right now. So what exactly does the forecast call for today? An 80% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. In these areas now, we are getting a little bit right now. We're going to still have that gust coming from Laura, about a 20 mile an hour gust today. Tonight, 20% chance of rain. Returning tomorrow with a 50% chance of rain. That heat index at 100 for tomorrow. And again, it'll be mostly sunny for the most part. By Sunday, we've got a 60% chance of rain still lingering in the forecast. I'll be back here in just a little bit, and we'll go back over and talk about the extended forecast. What's going to happen over the next 7 days with rain and all these things. Again, we're watching 2 more storms. So make sure that you prepare for this, because this is going to be one of the busiest years that we've had when it comes to all of these hurricanes and tropical storms. Do not let your guard down. It's still a good chance that our area could get one of these. We were lucky on Laurie going just to the west. It has devastated the area there in Louisiana. In places they hadn't gotten to, they're digging in, trying to get there. And let's just hope that there's no more loss of life to our friends there in the west. So we're watching it very closely. We'll be on top of it. Make sure if you didn't check your generator out this time, go ahead and get something like that checked out, because very important over the next few weeks that you get all that taken care of. We'll be back with some news stories coming up here in just a moment with Scotty, Ray, and Candace.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And we're back this morning as we move our topics to things that are going on. You were telling me about, is it the new restaurant being built in North Hills?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Burger King, and any addition to some more restaurants over there would be great. Another choice, to have.
Now, that used to be, what was it, the park? And before that, it was an arcade or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think one side was an arcade, and the other side...
I remember it being built.
They used to rent it out for different events
I was
and stuff
before
like that.
It was something...
Oh, it was a video store.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a video store, but, they need to put a Chick-fil-A over there.
I think
that
everybody...
would go over... don't you know, they
yeah.
would stay busy all the time.
Because we have to drive across town.
Yeah, and I will. I'll drive all the way out there if I have time to get one of those frosted lemonades. They are so good.
It's funny that you said that. I was somewhere the other day, and somebody said, "Who is that?" And I said, "Well, I can't remember her name, but she works at Chick-fil-A." And he goes, "Well, that's all I got to know. If they hired her, she's a good person."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they not have some of the best folks that work there?
They do, and they do a lot for students. They work around student schedules and even give a scholarship to seniors, high school seniors and stuff.
Sort of have our own, what we all believe in here in the Meridian area. And that's good to know that.
It is. It is. They're closed on Sunday. They say, get hungry for Chick-fil-A on Sunday, you're out of luck.
You just got to buy a lot on Saturday night.
Right, and heat it up.
As we move to a few news stories that are happening nationwide, we look at, do you remember this, the guy who set the police station on fire in Portland that started all of that?
No, because it's been so many. I don't even know. I don't remember the first one. I just remember there's been so many.
And what do they do to him? Well, they give him probation. Arson now.
Yeah.
Normally... you go to jail for and thousands of dollars of fine, but he gets probation there.
Yeah, that's real good.
3 years probation and community service.
That's setting a real example.
Well, what that shows is go ahead, burn something down.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's really going to happen to you.
Yeah. I just think that they're letting things go, and they're trying to let it go to where it gets so bad that if Trump does impose some kind of if he steps in and has more than the military.
Martial law is what you're
that's what
referring to.
Yeah, I hated to say that because, so many people referred to that a long time ago.
Right.
But I think they're wanting to let it get to that point so they can down him for that. But you know what? What else do you do?
It's bad.
Yeah, you can't just let people burn.
For those of you who don't know what martial law is, you lose all. When that is declared, you no longer have a constitution.
Right.
It is what they decide.
Right.
So we don't ever need that to happen.
No, we don't.
As we move to our next news story, now this is just one of those things of, my gosh, it's horrible. The FBI's in the top 10 most wanted captured a guy that killed his daughter, both his daughters, 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And why did he kill them? Well, I think they were Muslim, and they were dating somebody outside of his religion, and he didn't like it, so he executed his daughters. I mean, who does this?
That is just crazy.
They caught him just northwest of Dallas, Texas, without incident. He, after 12 years, gave himself up when they surrounded him. But
it amazes me, some of the beliefs with different religions like that.
I know.
I'm not like...
You're not down on anybody.
I'm not down on anybody's religion, but I just, who would do that?
I was talking to Madison, and I hate to even say this out loud, but I called Madison. She turned 23 the other day, and I wished her happy birthday, and I got to crying talking to her about it.
Yeah.
And, I just got sentimental. How could you hurt your own child?
There's no way. Mm-mm. I mean, mine can skin their knee. My 6-year-old, he can skin his knee, and I try to suck it up, you all right, but I just feel for him. You
understand sometimes a spouse when somebody snaps.
Yeah. Shut up.
As we move on, when will America? Now this is getting beyond serious, what we just talked about a minute ago, when are we going to say enough is enough? I've got two examples of it here.
Yeah.
This was Chicago. This is a parking complex that joins a apartment complex. You go up and you walk across it. This 85-year-old lady had just come back from the store and she was going in the door there. This guy here, and there's a video to it out there if you want to Google it, watches her. He's with three other guys. When she gets to the door with her back to him, he attacks her. She's laying there bleeding, and he runs off with her purse.
I mean, people have no conscience about them. They don't even, I mean, and that's like, you might as well say attempted murder.
It absolutely.
You know?
And here we go again. Now, this went on in New York. They're searching for a man who beat a woman. She was going to work. She's 46 years old. He beat her into a coma, taking her purse.
And, this is awful. I mean, this is horrible that stuff like this is going on. And in my mind, I've often thought, what would I do? Like, what would I do if somebody
attacked you?
What would I do if somebody tried to grab my purse? Because
I'm thinking you'd talk his head off, but I'm just,
well, I probably would, but I'm just saying if somebody tried to grab my purse,
what would be your reaction?
A lot of people go, oh, just give them the purse.
No, because you worked for it.
Right. I'm like, if I got my hard-earned money in that purse, I ain't just giving it up,
And you bring up a good point.
If I have my child, maybe,
But, there's that line there of people let people get away with this, and they never stand up.
Yeah.
And this is why we are where we are in America, because somebody turned the other cheek.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. If you stay silent too long, you lose your rights.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know trust issues and stuff, I guess people don't give people the benefit of the doubt a lot of times today because you can't trust anybody.
That's right.
And you can't, I don't know, we had somebody sitting outside of our shop the other day and it just made us nervous because they just sat right by the door and, it was raining though, and we were like, maybe he just didn't want to get out in the rain.
Yeah.
But
makes you think maybe
us
they're
being
going
a
to come
shop
in
full of
and
just women, and we were worried. I don't know.
You got robbed.
It's all right. I mean, you just can't trust anybody nowadays, and that's sad. But
and you have to pay attention to your surroundings, notice things like that.
Yes, you do.
And it never hurts something like that. If you see something, go ahead and snap a picture of them in case.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll snap a tag in a heartbeat.
Oh, I bet you would.
I will. If I see something that just looks suspicious to me, I snap the tag.
Now, our next story, I'm not really sure what to say about this, but this is the young man that killed two of the protesters or rioters, they were looters is what it was.
Yeah.
And he was a part of a group. The Daily Caller, what is interesting about it, interviewed him maybe an hour before he shot those people. And he goes on to say that he's there to help protect businesses. He's got his medic badge. He's a paramedic. He's going to help somebody if they get hurt. And then he ends up... Now, I have not seen that part of the video to where somebody said that he was beat up on. I don't know. But he did kill the other two people. So that's where that stands. And
well, I mean, I don't condone that he killed anybody. I don't.
Yeah, but absolutely
but,
not.
There's a lot of that going on out there where you only see part of the video.
Yeah.
And I think that's done on purpose. They see what they want you to see.
Well, let's go back to the riots that are happening now in Wisconsin over that of... after they slowed that video down of that guy getting shot, he did have a knife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as he's coming around, he had been waving a knife, and he did have one. Now, what else was in the car, I don't know.
Now, he didn't die, right?
No,
he's paralyzed, though, right?
But they did not have body cams, the police, so there's no other footage from inside that car that's going to be shown because they didn't have it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they spent the money on or whatnot, but that's where that stands. And I'm sure there is more to the story that has not come out, and that's what everybody kept saying. The governor of that state was already accusing the police, hang on to keep from riots happening. Don't,
right.
Wait it out, get all the facts.
But, the best thing is if somebody tells you to stop.
Yeah.
Don't break the law.
Yeah. If
don't take the chance on something happening and I always put my 2 cents in, but if a law enforcement officer feels threatened. Now, I will say shooting somebody 7 times, that's a lot.
It was.
But a lot of people said, well, they didn't even wait to see what he was, he could have been doing this, he could have been doing that. But by the time you wait to see
You're dead.
if they have a gun in their hand, you're dead. You can't take that chance. And who knows? Somebody behind you could, they could get shot too. It's just a bad situation.
And we do not, to this moment, know all the details of that case. All that's still to come. So
Right.
that's more coming. And this is the next thing that has come out of this. The NBA has, I guess I've heard they took the brief strike, then I heard they were back. Now I've heard that they're not. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
But does anybody really care what the NBA does anymore?
All these people who say, "Oh, we're not going to play."
Yeah.
You know what? Who are they hurting? They ain't
Themselves.
hurting us.
Yeah, it's themselves.
You're not hurting the fans because.
I mean, these folks make millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for them, the fans, a lot of times they wouldn't be where they are.
Absolutely.
So it's just kind of like they're cutting their own throat.
And which leads us to this, and I don't really know what to say about this, but Mississippi State football players, according to the Clarion Ledger, skipped practice due to the killing of that young man in Wisconsin.
You know what? I bet that there's somebody that would love to go to school on a scholarship that would replace you in a heartbeat. So,
It's the same as pro.
Yeah.
Somebody does want their slot.
right. They're not irreplaceable. So,
And people can do without sports. The people that make all that money, whether it's NASCAR,
yeah.
there's repercussions later, ratings.
Right.
As we move on to our next story that's going on, let's see here what we got here. Trump, did you hear this?
No, I did not hear that.
He said, hey, before we do our debate, let's do a drug test. He goes, I take an aspirin a day. Let's see what Joe's doing. I doubt Joe will commit to that because he went on to say that little speech he gave the other night was not Joe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know that I saw that speech that he gave, but I did see where they had him, like he and that Kamala.
Yeah.
They had them way sitting far apart, and the guy was interviewing them or something.
Yeah. But, it made a headline for Trump.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Is it going to happen? Absolutely not. Joe
Yeah.
would never do that. But it did make a headline for Trump out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Bette Midler. I mean, come on. She's one of those that says, you can't do this. Oh, that's racist if you do that. And then she comes out and says that about the First Lady. Said, she was an illegal alien. She mocked her for her accent.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have downed the First Lady, and, she's probably has more class in her little finger than all of them put together.
Was she 7 languages? Is that what they said she
Yeah, 6
speaks?
or 7 languages, and I just think it's tacky.
Very
and
tacky.
it's immature, and I just feel like they need to leave the woman alone. She's got a lot of class, and I think she's done a good job. And I thought her speech was great the
Yeah,
other night.
it was.
I thought it had a lot of good content to it.
So thumbs up to her. And, you've got to look at where she come from. To be an immigrant and then be the First Lady, pretty cool.
Yeah. And Bette Midler, I used to kind of like her.
Yeah.
She's kind of...
What was her big movie that she was in?
Well, I remember The Rose. Do you remember that?
She sang that, didn't she?
Yeah, but she was she was the star in the movie.
Okay.
The Rose.
And then Conway took it away from her.
Okay.
He done it better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
she
he
was-
did do it
Seems
better.
like she was in another movie that.
Well, she was in Beaches.
Nah, I didn't watch that.
That was a good movie, though.
She wasn't in that little DeVito movie about the divorce, was she? Where they tore the house apart and they were getting a divorce.
I don't know. I can't remember, but
I get it.
She's not a wonderful actress, but I always thought she was a little bit funny, and
That kind of took that away, didn't
yeah,
it?
she kind of rubbed me the wrong way, Bet.
Well, who is the richest person in the world? Well, yes, you guessed it, the guy that owns Amazon. He has just crossed the $200 billion barrier. Now, what this doesn't take in effect is the drug lords that are out there. Did you know that the cartel has got more money than him, but they just can't report that to the...
Oh, yeah. I doubt they'll be
Yeah,
making
they're not going to make the Forbes list.
Yeah.
But pretty amazing for that guy. A lot of money.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos.
Wish I had just a little bit of that money.
Yeah, but what's really pushed him over the edge is the pandemic, because everybody now orders online and is making him a fortune. And that's why Wally World is chasing Amazon. As we move to our next story here, Florida. Now, this is horrible of what went on here. This lady was in prison in Florida. She had a medical condition when she went in, something to do with her hip, and she asked for help. 4 bodyguards beat her within an inch of her life. Now, you got to remember, now, these really aren't police officers. They're security guards. There's a difference in between the two. And they drug her outside away from the cameras to finish her off. She can no longer speak. She's paralyzed. She
That's
can't
awful.
move. Her family has been afforded $4.6 million, and she will be forever strapped to a bed and be able to blink is all she can do.
That is awful. That's,
Just-
I mean, that's horrible.
Make
I
you-
mean, I don't even. I mean, what would even bring that on for somebody?
That's
to,
a good question. But, you know,
It's
you
horrible.
don't know, when somebody goes to prison, it's for corrections. A lot of time they leave prison worse than they were when they went in
Yeah.
of the crime that's in there and the gangs. You think, would I want to go to prison? Absolutely not.
Me either. Me
I'd be
either.
crying like a baby that first night. Mama! 'Cause, well, you know what goes on in prisons.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, ooh. You've watched, how do you
Although, I mean, at times when you're dealing with teenagers, you think, oh, a day in jail, like a vacation, me.
what was it? I cannot
I wouldn't
pronounce
wanna
it
go to
right.
prison.
The Shamshock Redemption. How do you say that?
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
Oh, wasn't that good?
That was good. Where
Morgan-
he bored the hole in the wall
Yeah.
and everything. That was a really good movie. It was.
And he just narrated. Did I say that right? Narrated.
Narrated.
Yeah. Boy, sometimes words are tough for me.
Yeah.
As we move to our next story before I bore you on that, this is where our priorities have really gone wrong in life. An air marshal was asked to remove his face mask because it was an American flag. Frontier was the airplane company that asked him to do that, the gatekeeper,
Yeah.
when you get on.
Yeah.
Now, am I saying it was the airline? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's who he was flying with.
Yeah,
But-
and they told him he had to put on, because I further read in the article, they told him he had to take that off and put on they gave him a regular, one of those
blue ones?
disposable masks. So he put that on, and he put this back on over it. And they said, no, you can't, you got to take that off, because it was an American. I don't quite understand
That's not
why
offensive.
Yeah, it's not offensive. I will say, though, these type things kind of creep me out. I don't know why. Because I'm not saying that I
Now-
would think that was offending me, but they
No,
just
you-
kind of
the
they look
face
like a
mask?
robber or something.
Oh, well, that's what the cowboys and
You know,
Indians used to do. That's what
yeah.
they rob with, the handkerchief.
Yeah.
But they did that because it's the American flag, and that's where I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
If you live here and you don't like our flag, then you need to go.
That's right. They make a ticket every day.
If you've
With your
ever
name on it.
studied, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've ever studied American history, what George Washington and his men went through, the people that died protecting this country to give you what you've got now,
Yeah.
and you do something like that, it bothers me.
Well, that worries me too, because like we said, about the Mississippi flag.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to keep them from taking down the American flag? It's all about giving in. Stand your ground. Don't give in about everything.
They made the statement there, when the monuments, when they were pushing for that, of it'll be George Washington next, it'll be Ben Franklin next, and it will work its way up till it's
Yeah.
communist.
Yeah, it definitely sounds communist. I mean, I just think that people need to just
Step
quit
back.
giving in.
Yeah.
I mean, quit giving in. If you know you're doing the right thing and you have the right to do what you're doing
Yeah.
by law, by the Constitution, then stand up for your rights.
Yeah, we need John Wayne to give a speech or something, don't we?
We do.
We'd like to say thank you for watching this morning. Coming up, we're going to update you again on what's going on with the weather, with the hurricane that's still kind of floating out there.
Yeah.
And locally, what's going to be happening over the weekend, what to expect with that. So most of all, we want you to have a good weekend. That's coming up. We'll have weather next. To say that I've known these guys a long time would be an understatement. Freeman Tractor. If you hadn't dropped in to see Keith and Steve lately, drop by today. Highway 494 in Sicalina. Hang a right there, left rather, if you're coming from Meridian off of Highway 19. It'll lead you right to them. From lawnmowers to, well, they got just a little bit of everything. If you're looking for a Skag, if you're looking for an Exmark, great brands to choose from. Keep that grass getting cut and looking good before the summer's over here. Freeman Tractor, of course, has a complete line of those LS tractors, four-wheel drives with buckets. You can get all the attachments. As we look at, if your bush hog has just had all it can, you've welded it and it can't be fixed anymore, see them. They've got parts now if you want to keep patching, but they can fix you up with a brand new one from a 5, a 6 foot, all the way up there and get you a bat wing. If you're looking for blades to do your driveway, if you're needing a new disc, they've got all that. Freeman Tractor is the place to head to. And we've talked about these benches that are 0% now for 60 months. If you're looking for a UTV, they've got a new brand that's made out of Texas. It's shipped in, and you can get this. This is a big one here. Electric dump beds. They come with AC and heater. All they got to do is order you one of those. Take a look at that. They got some brochures, show you the whole thing there. And if you're interested, they can fix you up. These are nice. Can you imagine being out in the dead of winter, not freezing? How many times have you got back on one of these when it's about 5 degrees and by the time you get back to the truck, you're just frozen? Yeah, they can cure that. And, of course, summer heat as well. Benchy, brand new. Go by for a test drive. They'll let you run it around, see how you like that. Some of them come with GPSs. You can get it any way you want. Radios. You can get these that come with the racing type, all those seat belts and all that. If you're into that kind of thing, there's a lot of people that do that. They got them for you. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, right there. You'll find them out in Cicalina. See them today. Good folks there. You've known them for a long time for any part that you may be doing. Well, as we move back to, and I'll tell you something, Candace went to get some coffee. I'll tell you in just a moment here about what's going on. Something happened with Rand Paul here in the last little bit that they just released on Twitter. But let's first take a look at our weather as we see what our forecast calls for us for the next 7 days. Our extended forecast. We're going to get wet today. It's that 80 to 90% chance of showers, about tomorrow 50%. Sunday is 60. As we move into next week, a 70% chance on Monday, Tuesday 50, and then we start seeing that 30% chance of showers there. So that's what we're looking at. Again, today the showers will come in the afternoon. Our high to be 86. Our heat index is going to be up there, but tomorrow will be a little bit worse as the heat index hits 101. Out to our west, it'll be even worse than that as you go over toward the Jackson area. But expect rain today. That's going to happen at some point. As I mentioned, last night, of course, wound up the RNC where Donald Trump accepted the nomination for Republican candidate for the Republicans. Big deal is they were getting ready to leave. And this was just put on Twitter right after it happened last night. This is Senator Rand Paul and his wife leaving. And Rand Paul is, as we go to Twitter, if we'll look at this, is saying that they were attacked as they were going along back to their car, back to their hotel, and the police had to surround them to get the crowd off of them. It doesn't look like for whatever reason that's going to work correct for me there. It's acting ugly. But they were attacked as they were headed back to their hotel. One of the police officers was shoved. Rand Paul, helped him where he didn't stumble and fall down. So a little bit that went on last night there in Washington as he was going back. And, of course, that was a Black Lives Matter crowd that was protesting outside the White House. So that's where that issue was. Nobody was hurt. They got back. Everything is good. But that steps up and gets when you, try to, no one touched him, but had they, that's a senator. That gets into a little bit more serious crime, as his neighbor found out, if you remember not long ago when he was attacked, and he got a little time over that, his neighbor did. Well, that's a quick look at weather and what's going on with that. As you're out in Collinsville, don't forget the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville where you can see my friend Joe. We all have to have groceries. And why not buy it from a friendly face that's local, that takes care of it and puts money back into the community? That's one thing you can say about Joe, a big supporter of the community. And they do that at the Piggly Wiggly. Save money, get some great groceries at the same time. Right now, you can get the white or red seedless grapes for $1.99 a pound, along with those California strawberries. A lot of folks love those. 2 for $5 in the clamshell there. You can also get the russet potatoes, that 8-pound bag for $3.99. Always cooking steaks or making homemade French fries or simply a baked potato. That's the way to go. The Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, you can get the 18-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Also, you can get the Piggly Wiggly brand chicken noodle soup or tomato soup, the 16-ounce can there for 79 cents. What a bargain on that. Also, the Nilla wafers, if you're making that nanner pudding, or I guess there's other reasons for it. As a kid, we used to eat them. Now that I think back, you can get that 11-ounce box for $2.99. Also, the Piggly Wiggly ground coffee for $2.79, that 11.5-ounce bag. Also, chicken tenders, boneless or skinless, you can get that for $2.99 a pound. Along with steaks, if you're heading into the weekend and want one of those, that family pack, $11.99 a pound for ribeyes. Also, you can get the pork loin roast for $1.49 a pound. No matter what it is, when it comes to one of the best meat markets you're going to find bar none around. That's the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, along with all those Coca-Cola products. Drop in and see them. They're right there in Collinsville. Hang a left at the four-way stop, and that'll take you right up to the door of the Piggly Wiggly. I want to say a thank you for you dropping by this morning, and big thank you for everybody that supports us on the local level. It's some great folks that help us out. From Kim's Photography, Sanders Gas there on 22nd Avenue, San Marcos, SMI Automotive, along with Graphics Guru, C. Zane, good friend of mine, EMEPA, along with Freeman Tractor, The Lauderdale County Farm Supply is they have their tax-free weekend on everything. Don't forget that. Also, Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Rick Justice Automotive, and Hoopers. Great folks right here in the Meridian area. And again, thank you for watching Candace and I as we bring you along with Scotty Ray's weather, and we give you a little tit and that with everything that's going on in the community. Again, thanks for watching, and have a great day. We'll have updates as the weather develops and stories as they happen here in the area.